How many of you have been to church? Maybe you stopped going to church because, like me, and you stopped going to church because you go in there and you have this hardcore anti-white double standard. The preacher is up there, the congregation, and all day long they're like, oh, the poor non-whites in Swaziland on the other side, the poor non-whites in the state beside us, the poor non-whites, and never about us. Never about us. You can't talk about white people. You can't, even in church, you can't stand up and say, hey, we should defend white people. They're going to be like, whoa, God created white people. And then you'll have the pastor who will say, oh, well, we all got the same. We're all the same sons. No, we're not. God made us specifically. That means he wants us. Period. End of conversation. He made us specifically. He wants us. Sick of the double standards. I couldn't handle it. I'd take my head in my hands over and over all day long talking about the poor non-white this, the poor non-white that. And nowadays, of course, thank God I'm not there. So many of the churches, it's the poor transgender this, the poor morbidly obese that, in addition to all of these privileged groups. Never, hey, let's do for the white race. You can talk about us as individuals, right? We're paying for the church. We're the ones paying for the church. We're the ones who are expected to be selfless. We're the ones who are supposed to do the charity work on the church. We're the ones who are supposed to, if you have a pavement laying company and you attend the church, you are expected to lay the drive and the parking lot for the church for nothing or for next to nothing, below cost, and you're losing. You're expected to do that. Meanwhile, other congregants, they can be at Annunciation, Catholic Church, and they can be waddling through this place at war with every aspect of Western civilization, at war with the white race. They can go without financially gifting. They can go without tithing. They can go without participating. They can go without giving their time, and nobody ever says anything. It's like the rest of society. Nobody ever says anything. They're delicate. No, you can't expect them to have to do what you have to do. You just have to pay for them. This can't go on. And that's one of the reasons why the church is dead. That's one of the reasons why. That's why the productive people stop showing up. That's why you can go to Pennsylvania right now and find some of the most gorgeous churches in the world. I didn't even know. I have had trips up to Pennsylvania, and you pull into this little shitty, wasted town that died because of NAFTA, and it died with the deals with China after that. And all the work, because why? Why out there, cucks? Because the Republicans care about money. They don't care about white people. They don't care about you. So they just said, hey, ship their jobs off. You all white people, you can do meth. You can do meth for all we care. Just die. We're just here for the dollars, the GDP, buddy. That's all that matters. Time for that to change. You drive into these towns, and it's countless for me. It's happened so many times. And then you turn a corner, and you're like, where did this like Germanic, Gothic, magical structure come from? Oh, well, the original German settlers. Oh, the original Dutch settlers, Jason. And it says here on the, and I'm like, what do you mean the original? They did this that long ago? They did this that long ago. They were the contributors. The halls of worship, the pews full with contributors. Well, guess what fucking happens? Christianity, as anti-whiteism, has defeated it and destroyed it. They exploit those who are the doers, who are the contributors, who are the ones that have to obey the rules, who are the ones. What do you think happens to the children in the family of doers at that church? And they have to obey all the rules. They've got to pray every single day. They've got to pray before dinner. They've got to pray when they go to bed. They have got to give to charity, their time, their money. They have to always be thinking of someone else. And if they break the rules at all, they're in trouble. They're in trouble with man's law. They're in trouble. They're in trouble with God's law. They're in trouble. What do you think happens when they grow up in a world where all of that applies to them, these white little children, and they look out and they see that doesn't apply to all the non-white kids. It doesn't apply to the kids that are batshit crazy. They can do what they want. They can be on a street corner having sex. They can be out there smoking drugs. They can be shooting lines and shooting their veins up. And when it comes time for church, who is celebrated? Who are the people who are brought before the rest of the congregation and showered with love and affection and attention? It's not the doers. It's not the white kids that have to obey all the rules. This applies to the rest of society as well as church. What we can see, though, in the microcosm of church, what happens in the macrocosm of Western civilization. Because those white kids growing up in those burdensome environments where they have to do, they have to give, they have to obey all the laws and the rules and the moral code, etc. But all of the others, none of that, and they're the celebrated ones. Well, those kids leave. And what's left then to the church are the losers, the riffraff, the scum, the anti-white garbage. And you head into these churches, as I have in Pennsylvania over the years a number of times. And what do you see? You see pews as far, it's like an NFL stadium. Pews and pews, and they're all empty, except for like the first two rows, where the most sickening group of Star Wars-looking entities are sitting. That's what you see. And what are they talking about at the front? How they're going to get more money from where? Not the congregants, no, from the taxpayers. And the church is now going to allow homeless to live in this part of the church, or homeless to eat at that part of the church, so that they can get paid some. Christianity is defeated, my friends. The only way it's going to make a comeback is when white positivity supplants the anti-white immoral imperative.